evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Rainbow Investing, where we examine a spectrum of ideas to increase your long-term wealth. Now today I want to talk about stock investing, shares, and why I think everyone should at least examine this as an option as part of your long-term wealth. Okay, now the first thing I want to talk about is what is a stock or a share, because I think that's the point where most people get turned off, to be honest. Now, a stock is simply a parcel of a company that you can buy on a stock exchange. That's all it is. You're literally buying a share of a company, and that share entitles you to all the benefits that an owner of the company would get. Some companies that means dividends, some companies that means stock buybacks. You can attend the company's general annual meeting as an owner of the company, as a shareholder. You literally own a piece of that company. Now, for all shares that regular investors like us can buy are traded on the stock exchange. Okay, these companies are called public companies because anyone can buy a share. If you want to set up a private company, that's fine, but only a select few people are allowed to participate in that company. So with a public company, they're traded on the stock exchange. A good example in Australia is Coles and Woolworths are both public companies that are traded on the stock exchange. Woolworths is traded as Woolworths, and Coles is part of a company called Wesfarmers. And Wesfarmers is traded on the stock exchange. Whereas a rival company to those two businesses is Aldi. That is a private company. You can't buy shares in Aldi. So the philosophy that I think about when it comes to stocks is actually one pretty similar to Warren Buffett. Now, if you don't know who Warren Buffett is, he's universally regarded as one of, if not the best investor of all time. He's a self-made multi-billionaire. I think he's worth almost $90 billion. And he started off as a regular person who just wanted to make his way in the world, trading stocks. Warren Buffett has a philosophy of a very long-term outlook. He likes to look at businesses that he thinks are fantastic businesses, and he likes to buy them at a fantastic price. Because he says that no matter how good a business is, it doesn't really matter unless you get it for a good price. The way I like to think about this analogy is, let's take a small business, say a farm. Say I buy a farm for, let's say, $1,000. Okay? Now when I buy the farm for $1,000, it isn't actually making any money. There's nothing growing on it yet. But say I invest some money into that farm, and over 5 years I can get it to give me $1,000 worth of, let's say, soybeans per year. Okay? Now that I've clearly made a very good investment, and I've clearly run the farm very well. Warren Buffett would call that a good business. Now, if I start floating those shares in the stock market, let's say $100 per share, and let's say there's 10 shares, so that means the farm's worth $1,000. There obviously would be a huge bargain because the farm is now making $1,000 worth of produce every year, and I valued it at $1,000. So that is a screaming bargain. What will happen on the stock market is everyone will see this, everyone will want shares in my farm, and they will bid the price up. The shares rise from $100 to even $1,000. Okay, that is the essence of a good business. That is what Warren Buffett looks for. Now, I like to think of this philosophy as something that I like to follow. Getting a share of that farm, which produces $1,000 per year for a price that's way under that. Okay, now that's the essentials of successful investing, basically. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this because this is just an introduction video, but I just want to talk about some businesses that prove that investing in stocks is a really good idea if you know what you're doing. Okay, now I just want to mention a few companies that Warren Buffett or anyone really would say are fantastic companies that have given excellent returns to their shareholders. Now, it's very hard to pick these type of companies, but just as an example, let's go through it. So the first company I've decided to look at is Facebook. Now, if you saw my other videos, you know I'm a big fan of Facebook. I personally own shares in Facebook. Facebook floated, so it launched as a public company in 2010, only 8 years ago. They launched for an initial price of $38. So you remember about that farm analogy? $38. This year, Facebook hit a high of $217.50, the highest price ever. So if you bought shares at Facebook at $38, if you put a large amount of money in, you are doing very, very well for yourself. Facebook is an incredible business, and they know how to make money into lots more money very quickly. Now, this is a company that everyone should know. It is actually the largest company in the world, worth over $1 trillion, that's the first company that's ever hit that valuation in history. And of course, it is Apple. Now, Apple floated on the stock market in America in 1980 for $22 a share. Now this stock's a bit more complicated because even today they're worth $225 per share, but that also includes stock buybacks, dividends, stock splits, which all increase the value of the shares. So if you made an investment in Apple of $1,000 in 1980, that $1,000 would be worth $522,000 today. Think about that. For every $1,000 you could have invested in Apple in 1980, it'd be worth $522,000 today. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? Now, the third stock I'd like to talk about is one close to my heart, actually. This company is very controversial. I also talked about it in a previous video, and it is Tesla. Now, Tesla also recently floated in 2010, and they floated for a price of $19.20. This year, Tesla shares have hit $380 per share. In 8 years, they've gone from $19.20 to $380 per share, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Like, if you think about the percentage increase of that, it will blow your mind. Anyone who was smart enough to put even $1,000 in Tesla in 2010 has done very, very well for themselves. Now, these are just a few shares that I thought I'd talk about because it just gives you an idea of how much a successful company can grow its own wealth, and as a owner of that company, as a shareholder, can grow your wealth. Investing in the share market isn't about picking the next Apple, about picking the next Tesla, but you can see how a successful company can turn your money into more money. And that's what stock market investing is all about. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, ring that bell if you want some more videos like this. I'll be back soon with some more videos talking about stock market investing and other personal finance. But for now, good night.